So, very good afternoon, fellow foundrymen. It gives me immense pleasure in interacting with you all for this 25th webinar, which is being organized by the Institute of Indian Foundrymen, Southern Region and Chennai chapter, jointly through Microsoft Teams platform. Before we get started, we request all the participants to kindly mute your microphones during the presentation. And towards the end of the program, you may unmute yourself and ask the questions, requesting you all to kindly cooperate. And one more announcement is that please do not switch on your camera also, because that also interferes with the recording as such, because we will want the presentation of the presenter and his video alone to be on during the presentation. So with that, we can get started with the webinar. To get things started, I now request Mr. V.K. Raman, Vice Chairman, IIF Chennai Chapter, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Vignesh.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. So it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for this technical webinar to be made by Mr. T.S. Rao, CEO of Madras Engineering Industries Limited. Today, it is a different topic. We used to discuss only on technical issues relevant to Foundry. But this topic is a very interesting topic, and it is the need of the hour for all fellow Foundrymen. So the topic is team management. Any organization will be successful only by doing teamwork. தமிழ்ல ஒரு வார்த்தை உண்டு, வாய்மையே வெல்லும். That means truth alone triumphs. That's the saying. But for organization, the phrase will be different. That is, teamwork alone triumphs. கூட்டு முயற்சியே வெல்லும் அப்படிங்கிறது தமிழ்ல. With that context, I welcome Mr. T.S. Rao for this wonderful gathering and requesting him to take us through the presentation. Any questions, any doubt can be raised at the end of the presentation, and he will be in a position to give all answers for the questions. So now over to Vignesh Senthil to introduce Mr. T.S. Rao to the gathering. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir.
Good afternoon, fellow foundrymen. Vignesh, hope I am audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon once again for fellow foundrymen. I am honored and privileged to introduce today's speaker to this others gathering, Mr. Srinivasa Rao, fondly called as T.S. Rao, from Madras Engineering Private Limited, and he has completed education, diploma in craftsmanship and design, and masters in public personal management. A certified lead auditor for almost all certification, including PED, Dale Carnegie Trainer Leadership, Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. And overall, he has got experience about 36 years of foundry experience in all processing, including sand, centrifugal, GDC, lost wax, lost foam, and replicast, and all materials including iron, steels, and copper alloys, with hands-on experience in new product development. He has traveled over 14 countries for supporting foundry suppliers for quality and productivity improvement. And he has developed over 2,000 products from APQP to PAPPAP. And he has worked 20 years in Hinduja Foundries, Hyderabad, and 1 year in Hindustan Motors, Kolkata, and 2 years in Dakshin Foundry, Bangalore, and 1 year in Pitti Castings, Hyderabad, and 12 years in Armstrong Fluid Technologies from Bangalore. And recently, he has joined Madras Engineering as COO. And today's speaker, as our Vice Chairman explained, the topic of team management. And as we all know, to create sustainable and scalable business, Management Guru suggested to focus on 3 aspects. That in that first and foremost is the team management, then systems and procedures, and strategy. So today we will hear from our speaker about team management, which will enrich all of us to put in our day-to-day practice. Rao sir, the forum is yours.
Yeah, good afternoon team. Thanks for joining the presentation, and thanks Vignesh, Raman and Senthil for the nice introduction. So I don't like to call it as a team management. The management is having a different meanings, but I call it as a team leading. As a leaders, we are expected to lead the team, not the management. Then moving on, like, the human resources are the most precious resources in any industry. All resources can be managed by the money, but the human resources cannot be managed by money, but only by the leadership qualities. Like a team is like, the definition of the team. Team is like a group of people. They work together to accomplish a common goals given by the organization. When the question come up, is a management is an art or science? Some people believe it's an art. Some people believe it's a science, but I believe it's the best combination of art and science. So the team management involves the various aspects like the organization structure, how the organization structure flows in any organization, and objective setting, which are the and clear communication about the organization structure and the objective setting, and the review mechanism. How are you going to review the objectives, and corrective action and preventive actions, and team empowerment and continual improvement. So these are the topics we are going to cover during the presentation today. The organization structure is a hierarchy. How the information flows, how the objectives are flowing from the top man to the bottom line is important in any organizational structure. The organization structure involves the promoters or the stakeholders who are the top management. Then comes to the management team who leads the plant or the individual, the operations, and comes under the operating team who are like the shop managers, under which we have supporting team like HR, IT, and the operators in any given organization. So how do you manage the team is like, it is like nothing but like chess. We are all familiar with the chess. Like, there are a couple of coins and they are defined roles and responsibilities. The king is most powerful person in the chessboard. Doesn't mean that the king goes everywhere and then manage the show. No, he is as a team leader, he is expected to lead the team, and he is expected to protect his team by conquering the opponent teams. This is how the team leader like king is expected to do in chessboard. Same way in any organization, the process owners or the leaders of the organizations are expected to lead the entire chessboard, like how king is organizing the chessboard. So there are 2 ways to address this. Like one is the command and control, another is engage and create. If you see, the difference between the boss and the leader. The command and control, normally the boss does. Normally boss try to command and try to control the people. Whereas the leader, he try to engage the team and create the leaders. So that is how we are here today. So the team management involves the roles, the responsibilities, the authorities, and accountability. If you see any organization, we are all familiar with roles and responsibility. Wherever you go, they say, what is your role? What is your responsibility? The important factors we are missing in any organization is authority and accountability. Without giving an authority to individual, without making an individual accountable, we will not be able to get the maximum output from the employees. So let us go through what are the roles, responsibilities, authorities, and accountabilities. So the roles, we are all fond of our roles. We have big titles, big roles in any organization that gives a social importance or the social recognition in the industry. So example, some of the roles like we have chief executive officer, we have chief operating officer, we have general managers, we have production managers, we have stores officers, we have shift supervisors, we have engineers, We have associate engineers, we have trainees, we have interns, we have operators of various departments. These are the various titles we are familiar with. In organization, wherever you go, you find a big hierarchy, start from the top man till the operating people. So when you keep moving towards the responsibilities, the responsibility is the state of the fact, having a duty, deal with something of having control over someone. The responsibility is like, we are all responsible for delivering something out of our roles. Like every role has got a responsibilities based on the position he is recruited for, objectives he is given for. So some of the responsibilities include like the execution of production plan as per the business plan, the production of 250 moles per hour. It is given to the production manager. The stores manager is given a responsibility of no stoppage of production due to shortage of raw materials. The quality manager is given a responsibility of rejections less than the targets which are defined by the management. And the sales manager is given a responsibility of sales target as per the business plan. And the QA team is given a responsibility of nil customer complaint due to visual defects. And all the process owners are given a responsibility of housekeeping score, which is over 75% during the internal monthly audits. So these are the responsibilities. I think up to this, we are familiar. We are familiar with the roles of individuals. We are familiar with the responsibilities of individual occupation. When you come to the authority is an empowerment. Unless you give an authority, unless you power an individual, he will not be able to deliver what is expected out of him. Like an example, the border security force who is guarding our country, if you don't give an authority for them to stop the enemy or kill the enemy when he try to interfere or he try to cross the border, then it doesn't work. You need an authority. If you don't give an authority, he will start a chai pe charcha. He will call him for discussion. He will try to discuss why are you coming, what is the root cause analysis, what is the intent of coming, is the intent or content. It doesn't work. By the time you start discussion, he will kill you. So it doesn't work. So we need an authority for the people to become empowered. So some of the authorities, what normally the industries are given of like, if you take a purchase manager, he should be given an authority for selection of the suppliers based on quality, cost, and delivery and service. Similarly, a purchase manager is given a authority of purchasing material less than 10,000 rupees without prior approval. Or for a small petty purchases, if he is going behind the top management for the approval, it doesn't work. His time is lost and his boss time is lost. So he should be given an authority to spend money up to 10,000 rupees without prior approval. And similarly, the quality manager should be given an authority to stop production when non-conformity detected in the production process. If it is authority is not defined to the quality manager, if you go and stop saying that the process is not meeting the intended requirement or the process is not as per the set parameters, then the production manager certainly will ask, who are you to stop me? My responsibility is to deliver the production. Then the quality manager with the authority says, I am authorized to stop the production because of XYZ reasons. You are not meeting the desired the production norms or the desired the quality requirements. So he is authorized. Suppose the security officer should be given an authority to stop unauthorized entry into the premises. If you don't give authority, so he will left with allowing people to come inside the premises. Similarly, the production manager has to be given an authority to change the production based on the availability of the resources. Suppose there is a production plan, but unfortunately the required tool is not available for production. He should be given an authority to change the production plan where the tool is available or resources are available. Otherwise, he should be waiting for the command. So that need to be fixed. Again, a manager can be given an authority for approval of payments up to 50,000 rupees. Similarly, the security officer should be given an authority for frisking of any employee if in doubt. So these are very important in any organization for people to get empowered to execute their duties and responsibilities effectively. Coming to the accountability, not only the roles, responsibilities, and accountability, authority and accountability is also very, very important. Accountability is the acceptance of the responsibility. Normally, every person is given a roles, responsibility, and authority. Unless he is not accountable, how do you make an individual accountable? It is only the way when the responsibility is accepted by the individual. And he should be accountable for his own actions. Like if you see some of the examples of the accountability, the plant manager is responsible for the profit and loss. Okay, accountability, the plant manager or who is heading the organization is accountable for
Sorry,
the
sir.
profit
Screen
and
not
loss.
visible.
Screen not visible. Let me share again.
The screen is visible, sir.
No, it is visible, sir. It is visible.
It is visible. It is visible.
It is visible.
Sir,
It
please
is
go ahead.
visible.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe my
so-
side problem, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry to
Okay.
disturb you.
Please go ahead.
Meeting sales budget is accountability of the sales manager. Statutory compliance is the admin manager's accountability. The productivity, the meeting productivity norms is the accountability of the production manager. So the process owners is accountable for incidents which is happening in the plant. The security officer, the admin officer is accountable for the pilferage in the plant. The quality manager is accountable for the customer complaints, and the respective process owners are accountable for the stock accuracy. Unless the employees, unless the individual, the team members are not accountable, we will not be able to manage the teams. This is very, very important. The authority and accountability, which is missing in the roles and responsibility that need to be added for the effective management of the teams. So then when we go on to the objective setting, the objective setting is a delegation process across the organization, irrespective of their roles and responsibilities. The objectives has to be smart. The objectives has to be specific. The objectives has to be measurable. The objectives has to be achievable in a given timeline. It has to be realistic. It has to be time bound. We cannot see some organizations, they give an objective like improve the surface finish, improve the image of the product. So it doesn't work. Unless it is smart, it doesn't have any meaning for any of the objectives which are very clearly defined while delegating the roles and responsibilities.
Sir, sorry, sir. Your screen has sharing has stopped.
Is it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, there seems to be some network issues.
Oh,
So
no issues. Please go ahead.
is it okay? Okay. So the objectives the starts with the corporate objectives. The corporate objectives normally is strategic in intent, normally for the long term, and the plant specific, the organization or the particular department specific objectives, and the functional are a particular group objectives, and individual objectives. Individuals, as individuals, what are the objectives to be defined in an organization? When you keep moving, like the corporate objectives, which are strategic in nature, the objectives relate to the organization or the business as a whole. Normally, the multinationals having headquarters in a different country, they will have a strategic objectives by keeping the entire business as a whole. Some of the corporate objectives are included here, like stay profitable. Unless the organizations are profitable, they will not be able to run the business forever. And sales growth at the rate of 15% year on year. They secure market share over 50% in the business segment where they operate, and becoming number one globally by the year 2025 in the segment what the business is being operated. Achieve net zero, like carbon neutral, by the year 2050. Register at least 10 patents every year. Cost reduction of 5% year on year. If you see these objectives as a corporate as a whole, and is all global in nature, strategic in nature. And when you go to the next level, when the plant level objectives are derived from the global objectives, so these are the examples of the plant level objectives. The on-time deliveries are 100%. The rejections are less than 10,000 parts per million. The customer satisfaction over 95%. Inventory turns over 6. Energy consumption reduction at the rate of 5% year on year. zero accidents in the plant, 100% statutory compliance, attrition rate less than 1%, implementation of Industry Internet of Things and Industry 4.0. So these are, when you see the objective, these are specific to the particular unit or particular business unit, which is specific to an given organization. When you move on to the further, the department objective, which are related to a particular department. Normally, these are for the short term. Like when you see the production department, production of 100 molds per hour, our housekeeping score over 85% during monthly audits. The rejections are less than 10,000 ppm. Overall equipment efficiency over 85%. Nil unsafe conditions in the particular department. Energy consumption less than 2 units per kilogram of castings. So if you see these, the objectives which are specific to the particular department. And further, when you drill down to the functional objectives, the function is like the melting is one of the functions in the organization, which is normally for a specific period. Like if you see melting an example, tapping of 1.5 metric ton liquid metal per hour per furnace, or 100 molds per head per hour, or minimum of 2 kaizens per head per month, or nil incidents in the particular department, or no unsafe conditions in the particular department. These are some of the functional objectives. When you keep on moving towards the individual objectives, these are related to a particular person in an organization, which are mostly the growth oriented. Like individual, if you want to empower an individual has to grow professionally in a given organization. If you see some examples of the individual objectives, like get certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt by the year 2023, train your team at the rate of 2 hours per head per month, implement at least 2 kaizens per month, develop minimum 1 additional skills per year. Like, you know, a machine operator, if you can operate a turning center, he should be able to operate VMC, or also he should be operate HMC. So he should acquire additional skill, at least 1 additional skill year on year. Unless you develop a skill, then it is hard to like progress in any organization hierarchy. You know, in any organization, if you go, you find a skilled people, you find a knowledgeable people, but hard to find the competent people. Unless you demonstrate the skill and the knowledge, the competency and the hierarchy, growing in the hierarchy is going to be tough. And another objective is like implement lean process flow. Train at least minimum 2% as a successor. This is very important, the individual goals. So it is part of strategic HR and the succession plan. It is our responsibility to develop at least 2 successors. Even when you leave the organization should run as is or better in our absence. That is also one of our individual objectives. We have to take it up as. Moving on to the next slide, the clear communication. This is very, very important. Like, you know, the objectives are like the global, the strategic objectives, the plant level objectives, the department level objectives, the process level objectives, the individual objectives. Unless you clearly communicate to the team, then the purpose of giving the objectives is defeated. The clear communication is like what the person is received is same as what sender is intended to send. This is how it works. If you see an example, like there is a 6 and 9, the person sitting on other side, he says 9, the person sitting here, he says 6. See, the only way is we need to just flip the people, they understand it better. So we need to make it very clear to the team about the objectives. Like some of the examples of clear communication, one-to-one discussion. We call for a meeting saying that these are the objectives I am going to give you for the year 2022 or for the year 2023. Kindly review your objectives. This is the timeline. These are the resources given to you. Are you okay to meet the target objectives or the targets? Or you want tougher targets? Or you wanted to reduce the timeline? Or you wanted additional resources? So that discussion is always required to ensure that the objectives are clearly communicated. And hand over a printout and get it acknowledgement done so that it gets recorded. Tomorrow you cannot say that I was not given authority or I was not given accountability. I was not clear what I am expected to do in the shop floor. Similarly, the email, which can be retrieved later point of time. The displays in the shop floor. When you go to the shop floor, there should be a big board saying that my department objectives for the year or 1, 2, 3 or XYZ. One-to-one meetings, always to have one-to-one meetings while clearly communicating the objectives to the teams. Group meetings, you can call group of the people in a given organization or given a department to express or to communicate the group objectives. And sign off the objectives which are understood by both the parties. And public addressing system, like in some companies, they have the public addressing system saying that our rejection percentage or our PPM is less than 10,000, we are at 9,000, we are at 11,000, or there will be electronic displays running over the shop floor. These are some of the communication methods on delivering the top management intents to the shop floor people. Moving on to the next slide, review mechanism. Unless we review the objectives at a given period, then at the end of the year, there will be a big gap. And end of the year, we'll find a big gap. So unless you review periodically, we will not be able to ensure that the objectives given are met. So some of the review mechanisms are like the management review meetings, or we also call monthly review meetings, and displays in the shop floor. You know, some of the displays like the run charts. Normally the operating people, they will not be able to read the big graphs, only show the red line as the target and the actual. Like any layman can understand, this is my target, I am here today. I am over the target, I am under the target. So these are some of the run charts, X bar R charts, or trend charts. So that really helps the people to understand where they are and where they need to improve. And also the performance review meetings, which can be done with the teams. And presentation to the top management. Some companies, they have weekly presentation. Some companies, they have monthly presentation. Some companies, they review once in 6 months or once in a year. So where they review each target, what is given to the individual or to the given department, where they are with respect to the targets. Annual appraisal, this is very important. So some of the organization, the increments are based on the achievement of the objectives. And the audits, either it can be internal audit or can be external audits like ISO audit or environmental management audits or occupational safety and health audits, or by third-party audits or customer audits or third-party assessments. These are the ways we need to review the objectives of the individuals. And corrective action and preventive actions are very, very important. What happens is any objectives which are given to individuals or given to the group of people or the departments, it doesn't mean that they meet the targets. So sometimes they may need some support. Unless they have a trend chart, unless they know where they are, they will not be able to do improvement or corrective action to ensure that they meet the objective at the end of the year. So, you know, the corrective action is preventive of recurrence. When, like some of the examples, if it is a corrective action, there is an accident because of the pothole. The corrective action is repair the roads and introduce a speed bump that will prevent the accidents, or it will prevent the recurrence of the accidents, and add the warning signs at the defective locations or particular locations. So similarly, the preventive action is the prevention of the occurrence. Like, you know, the roads built with dividers. When there is a divider in the road, there's no question of accidents. There's no question of colliding the opposite traffic. Similarly, the POCAYO, the mistake proofing devices, which are introduced in many processes in the industries, that is also a part of the preventive actions. And preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance will prevent the breakdowns in the shop floor. So these are some of the corrective actions and preventive actions. Move on to the objectives. When it comes to the objectives, so it's as I said, like it's not always possible to meet the objectives. Sometimes we are likely not to meet the objectives. So whereby we need to take the data, like this is my data, I am supposed to be here, I am here. So how do I initiate the corrective action? For initiating corrective action, what is the root cause? How do I improve? Here are some of the examples, like, so the objective which is given where we don't have the expertise. So in the particular time, we may have to go back to the management, says I need a training on a specific subject, then only I will be able to meet the objective. So naturally, the management will train the people on the given subject. Seek support from the peers. Like we are, like in a team, we are a group of people. Suppose if you are not familiar with the particular department or a particular task, so always you can go to the subject matter expert and take his support for meeting the objectives. review with the management. Always we can go back to the management, says that the objective given to me cannot be achieved because of the XYZ reasons. Kindly review the objective, or change the objective, or change the timeline, or add another team member with me so that I will be able to meet my objectives. And some of the ways is form cross-functional teams. When individuals cannot meet the objectives, then it is recommended to form a cross-functional team where the group of people work together to ensure that the objective is met. And use defined problem-solving techniques. Like we have many problem-solving techniques like brainstorming, we have 8D, we have check sheets, we have histograms, we have many tools. We have 7QC tools, we have new 7QC tools. There are many defined problem-solving techniques to ensure that the root cause is identified, the corrective action is initiated, and the objectives are met as defined. So team empowerment. So this is very, very important in any given organization. So it's like we have to make our team stronger, make team more competent, more accountable, more authorized. So this is important, like some of the tips for making the team empowered. So we need to involve them in decision making so that they get excited, they get empowered, they will be taking more accountability. Like support when failed, this is important. Normally, like whenever fails, like we are normally in our environment, like we tend to shout, we tend to abuse in a group that doesn't work. Talk to him separately, ask him why he did fail, what support he needs to be successful. Give the resources, give the training so that he will be succeeded over the period. Provide training whenever there is a requirement. Recognition, appreciation. Recognize in an open forum. If you want to criticize, call him privately and talk to him one-to-one. You always give a honest feedback. Always criticism should be done one-to-one. If you want to recognize or appreciate, do in a group. Allow authority. Ask him, see, every individual are given authority. You allow him to demonstrate his authority. Like a quality manager is given authority of stopping the production. He should use his authority. Sometimes he has to go to the production, see how the production is performing. Is it as per the required set quality parameters or no? If no, so he should go and stop. He should be able to stop. So he should allow quality manager to stop the production. You need to allow the demonstrating the authority. Sometimes some people may have family commitments. Some people are expected to travel more distance. Allow flexible working hours. Give the regular feedback, even it is a good or bad. So it is expected to give the feedback. Comprehensive benefits. This is one of the retaining factor of the employees. Inspire by standing as a role model. So suppose say I can't do this. Okay, don't worry, I am there. Let us do together. Or I demonstrate. I work, kindly watch. Then you continue. And cohesive leadership. Demonstrate. Work as a team. Be part of the problem, not be a problem. Connect with the family. Whenever the occasion comes, visit their family. Have intimacy. Develop the social connect with the employees. Moving on, the content improvement. So after objectives, like when the objectives are not met, it is our responsibility to identify the root cause and see how you made the targets. When targets are achieved, when we are above the target, then we need to work on continual improvement. It is ongoing incremental breakthrough improvements. We have to work for continual improvement. So some of the examples of continual improvements are quality improvements. So there is no end to that unless the rejection becomes zero. The productivity improvement, we have to keep improving the productivity. The yield improvement, the on-time delivery improvements, the profitability improvements, the customer satisfaction improvements, the enhancing footprint, the regions, there is no end. We can spread our footprint all over the world. So these are some of the examples of the continual improvement. Before I close, I have a short video on a typical organization, how the team works. So this is the video is called the COT. I think most of you would have seen. This is a scenario in any organization. It's an illustration, like you can correlate with your own organization. The company name is Struggle and Company. See how the team is working together here in this organization. is a performer. He is a team leader. This is a short video. I can correlate this with your own organization. It happens in any other organization. Yes, this last slide. So just because we have a DSLR doesn't mean that we are the photographer. Like as I said, like we have stuff. This is what I shown is a theoretical part. Like we need to apply our own way of dealing because the people in every organizations are different from other organizations. So by taking these inputs in the presentation or from the various sources, we need to apply our own way of implementing in your shop floor. Thank you so much, team. Now the floor is open for questions. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Excellent presentation, sir.
Thank you.
It was very relatable and practical presentation. So, members, do we have any questions for Rao, sir? Sir, there's a question. Please throw light on comprehensive benefits.
Comprehensive benefits are the industry benchmarking benefits. Like if you're in foundry industry, the industries, the benchmarking industries, how they are giving the benefits to their employees. You can have a benchmarking benefits, comprehensive benefits around your organizations. Like you're in a foundry industry, like the foundry belts, like either in Coimbatore or Belgaum or Bangalore or Chennai, like you see how other foundries are giving benefits to their employees. Try to match or try to give better benefits. That is one way of looking at the comprehensive benefits. Another is the industries around you. Always your employees, you try to see, my neighbor is a multinational company, he's giving the benefit, they are working 5 days, why I should work 6 days. Right. So these are some of the benefits you can customize according to your industry needs and according to the neighbors in the industry. It can be customized according to your requirements. There's no cost and rule saying that this is a comprehensive benefit. This is not a compromising benefit.
Sir, happy
Thank you.
afternoon, sir. This is Kumar from SCH Engine Components. Yeah, it
Yes,
is a
Kumar.
very nice, a very good presentation, sir. And we witnessed from a role model foundry man. And yeah, it is a very informative presentation.
Thank
Sir,
you, Kumar.
regarding this inventory, you said it is greater than 6 for a monthly or a yearly one.
Inventory turns is done monthly basis. Inventory turns is like how many times you are rotating your inventory in a given year. That means if you are the inventory turn 6 means 6 times you are rotating your inventory. That is a benchmarking. For information, the organization where I am working today, we are operating at 50 inventory turns. Probably this is the best in the industry.
Okay, 50. Yeah. So since it is
50.
6, I thought okay. So 50 is very
Our inventory turns where I am working is 50.
Okay. The other thing, the appraisal and all. When we look at the Deming philosophy of 14 point, the appraisal is not good practice. Like that, it is written. So we need to value people and we need to add value to the people. So when we segregate, these are the best performer or the worst or average. When we segregate people like this, so they demotivate by the appraisal. So what is your view on this?
So it depends on the organization structure. Like some organization, there is a fixed salary, there is a floating salary, or fixed pay or variable pay. The fixed pay, irrespective of your performance, you get fixed amount. The variable pay, it depends on your performance on achieving the objectives. Right. See, suppose how do you separate the horse from the donkeys? Right. How do you empower the team? Like if you say, I give 10% flat increment to all the employees in the given department, how do you motivate the team? How do you encourage the team to perform better? Okay, these are some of the techniques we need to follow. We need to differentiate among the team members to ensure that the top performers are recognized.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, actually, the manpower operator shortage is there, no? Do you have any solution to work?
See, the operators, see, one of my previous organization, there is a group of people who work on a molding department. There are 7 people work together in a molding department. The objective given to the molding group, the operators group is, it is a subset chemically bonded sand molding. They have to do 4 molds per head per hour. That means if the 7 people in the department, 7 4s are 28 molds per hour they have to do. So there is a target of, like as I said, there is a run chart in the shop floor. 28 is marked with the red. So next day, when they go to the shop, when you look at the board, they see where they are. Against 28, they are 30, they have done 26. So when the objective is not met, there are 3 ways to address this. One is, instead of 7, then the objective is met with the 6. So by securing 28 molds by the 6, they would have met the target or increase the production, right? Or work extra hours. That's it. So people exactly knows how to achieve the target together. So these are some of the targets given. Like similarly, the melting, 11 kilograms per head per hour of liquid metal, which is expected to be poured into the parts. Similarly, the machine operator, 10 kilograms per head per hour, parts to be machined on turning centers. So these are some of the objectives to be given to the group of people working in a foundry department. Hope I clarified your doubt.
Good evening, Mr. Rao. I'm Govind here.
Good evening, Mr. Govind.
You see, not a question. Presentation was excellent. Only thing is, I just want to add, the culture of the organization has to come from the top for this to achieve. I would like you to emphasize that.
Yes, absolutely correct. See, we call in Sanskrit Yadha Raja Tada Praja. Like the people in the kingdom are same as like the king. if the king is bad, the kingdom is going to be bad. Similarly, the organization, the top man is very important, Mr. Govind, as you rightly said. So the top man of the organization is expected to drive his team towards the excellence, towards achieving the objectives by standing as a role model or by demonstrating the cohesive leadership qualities. So that is very much important.
Any further questions or comments, gentlemen? So I think, Rao sir, I think we can move on with the vote of thanks, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right. So thanks a lot, Rao sir, for taking us through a fantastic presentation. Just like how the people said, it was very interesting, and the amount of questions that came in showed that it was more interesting, sir. So very well done. So, gentlemen, we've had a very interesting management webinar today on the topic team management, and we are sure the contents had a lot of takeaway for our audience. We'd like to thank Mr. T.S. Rao, Chief Operating Officer, Madras Engineering Foundry Division, for taking time off his busy schedule and making us rich with knowledge. Further, we would like to thank all the members who joined us for this talk. I am sure you had a wonderful learning experience, and thank you for joining us on time and being such a wonderful audience. We from Chennai chapter will be conducting many such interesting programs, both physically and virtually. So we will be sharing the information of these with you soon. Looking forward to seeing you all in our upcoming programs. Thanks so much. Thank you, Rao sir, once again. Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think, Rao sir, I think we can move on with the vote of thanks, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right. So thanks a lot, Rao sir, for taking us through a fantastic presentation. Just like how the people said, it was very interesting, and the amount of questions that came in showed that it was more interesting, sir. So very well done. So, gentlemen, we've had a very interesting management webinar today on the topic team management, and we are sure the contents had a lot of takeaway for our audience. We'd like to thank Mr. T.S. Rao, Chief Operating Officer, Madras Engineering Foundry Division, for taking time off his busy schedule and making us rich with knowledge. Further, we would like to thank all the members who joined us for this talk. I am sure you had a wonderful learning experience, and thank you for joining us on time and being such a wonderful audience. We from Chennai chapter will be conducting many such interesting programs, both physically and virtually. So we will be sharing the information of these with you soon. Looking forward to seeing you all in our upcoming programs. Thanks so much. Thank you, Rao sir, once again. Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.